How's it howling, everyone? Vin Wolf here, and I'm ready. I'm ready to say it. I'm ready to think what I say and say what I think, and I've slept on it. I've given it time. I've processed the direct thoroughly by this point. Here's my opinion concerning the news I have thoughts on. Obviously, I'm not going to get into every single little detail that the direct covered because ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm going to start off with what kicked off the entire direct. Luigi's Mansion 3. Oh my science, I am so stinking hyped for that. I cannot wait to hop back into the Poltergeist and start vacuuming up ghosts again. I hope the house has another really cool story. Like the very first Luigi's Mansion had like this interesting little story surrounding the house with the family that was there and all the other people who were there that you could vacuum up as boss battles. It was really great. Now, I don't have any frame of comparison for the second Luigi's Mansion because that only came out on the 3DS. It just didn't seem like it was worth dropping money on. I ended up not playing that one. And that goes for the first Luigi's Mansion too. I'm a little bummed that it's only coming out as a 3DS remake, but honestly, that's kind of the trend for what they're doing with the 3DS right now. I mean, look at the two big announcements for the 3DS that we got here. Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn and Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, along with that little side quest thing starring Bowser Jr. Nintendo just seems to feel this need to keep the 3DS relevant, which, I mean, it makes sense for a business to do. It's still an asset, they're still supporting it, and they can still make some cash from it, so I can't say I have any hard feelings about it at the end of the day. It also looks like the Yokai Watch series is still live, so to you fans out there who still enjoy that game, honestly, I can't say I understand it, but hey, good for you guys. I'm happy for you. Moving along into Mario Tennis Aces, I freaking called it. New character pack is coming out, showing off the Koopa Paratroopa, PD Piranha, Birdo, Shy Guy. I think that was it. No surprise right there. I knew they had to bring something extra to the table with Mario Tennis, and here it is. I'm a little surprised we didn't see more about Mario Kart though, because I mean, it's Nintendo's worst kept secret at this point. There's more DLC coming down the line. We know there'll be new maps to race on and new characters to race with. So not hearing anything kind of threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting. Another big update for one of my favorite games, praise the Lord, is that Splatoon 2 is getting a massive update. Admittedly, it was probably my favorite segment of the entire direct. So excited for this. This is probably one of my favorite games to come out, and it's just, oh my gosh, this segment of the direct was absolutely my favorite. No complaints at all. They took Splatoon and made an anime opening sequence, and boy howdy, it was gold. The new weapons have already been released, and they feel pretty awesome to use. Running around with a new black roller, going all edgelord on everyone is so much fun. And what the heck is with that hammer? Oh my gosh. I know that's probably part of a new game mode that they haven't released full details on, but oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. The new 10x and 100x battles were an interesting addition for the Splatfest. I ended up, after the direct, I had to go through and I had to do a little bit of research to figure out exactly what that was hinting at. But from what I gather, it looks like during the Splatfest now, you'll randomly enter battles that are worth 10 battles or 100 battles. So if you win those, then hey, your team is up by 100 or 10 points. Congratulations. I guess that's their way of trying to balance out the Splatfest. I mean, if you look at the history of the Splatfest that we've seen so far since the game released, it seems like the team that has the most popular vote always ends up losing anyway. So I don't know. I mean, I guess this is their way to try to balance it. But honestly, I don't know how that would work since the other team could just win those fights and put themselves even farther ahead. Unless it's one of those things where that will only count for one particular team. I don't know. It's Nintendo's game. They gotta have a reason. After that, we see the release of Super Mario U Deluxe. Really, my only note here is that I personally would have preferred Mario Maker to... My only note on this is that I really would have preferred to see Mario Maker. Maybe that's something we'll still get down the line, or maybe they're just straight up making a brand spanking new Mario Maker. I don't know, but you know what? For those who like 2D Marios, here you go. Happy birthday. And then we come to really my only complaint of the entire direct is the online service announcements. It felt like they were selling something, like they were really trying to sell something here, which is so weird because they provided literally no new information. If you watched my Nintendo's prediction video, there was nothing new that was released here. I mean, the NES games and the remote is pretty cool, but only if you're really into that kind of nostalgia. For people like me who started on a PlayStation and have no real nostalgia until the N64 or GameCube, they aren't really going to go nuts over this, I think. The app is generally all but useless at this point. I mean, the voice chat thing, it's a cool concept, but you have other places like Discord that are not only doing it, but they're doing it better. Save data is cool, but it's a real bummer it doesn't support all the games. Generally, I understand why Nintendo's reasoning for this is. They're concerned about enabling cheating people on Splatoon or Pokemon. Say, for example, I had a bad Splatoon run with the new weapons. Well, I could just use my backup save to restore what my previous win streak was, and then not buy the weapons at all. That way I could spend the money on new clothes or items. Pokemon too, I could constantly trade Dragonite to someone and then reload my game and still have it. I still feel like Nintendo could relatively easily solve this issue though. For example, make it required to be connected to the internet when you do a trade on Pokemon. When you trade, it doesn't just save to your game card, it also saves to your online data cloud. Same thing could be for Splatoon. If you're playing a round of Splatoon, hey, you gotta be connected to the internet anyway, so just do a quick little autosave for your cloud save data after every run. I don't know, it feels like Nintendo's taking a lazy way out of the save data problem, but on the flip side, it's also their services, so what you gonna do? And then, of course, you had the special offers, and this felt, for lack of a better term, it felt like a slap in the face. It's like, hey, we've got this awesome thing. You'll find out later. It felt like this would have run a little bit better if they had just said one or maybe even two ideas for special deals we'll be getting in the future. For example, in this direct they also announced Mega Man 11 coming out. Granted, that was also spoiled earlier this week because the direct got delayed, but whatever. If they had announced that there would be a special offer for the Mega Man 11 in the eShop for those who had online access, can you imagine how much hype that would have driven up? Oh, I can speak so well today. Also, putting special deals on the eShop for games is a brilliant idea because it can help Nintendo get off providing physical copies, which could save them money down the line. Not an idea I personally like. I mean, I love getting my physical copies and checking out the artwork on the boxes, but it makes decent business sense if people can buy more on the eShop. I mean, generally, the whole section of online felt like a waste of time. Nothing new was discussed, and I was left with, you now have to pay to do what you've been doing. I know it's really not that much at only $20 for an entire year, but there are people out there like kids who just don't make much in cash if they make at all, and they have to budget and choose. And if they have the option between online play for a year or a game they can keep for life, they gotta make that choice. So on that particular note, I understand why people are a little bit concerned with this. If they offered more to the online services, I wouldn't mind it at all. But again, they're asking us to pay to do what we've already been doing. It just doesn't seem relevant too much. My only hope for this is that down the line they'll continue to grow and expand and we'll be able to see more come to the online service to make it worthwhile. Until then though, I'm not sure where I'm going to be standing as far as paying for online. I may just wait a little bit. Pokemon Let's Go. I kind of feel bad because everything in the direct for Pokemon Let's Go was already shown off before the direct. I mean, the bundles are cool, but again, they were shown off before. Although with Christmas coming up down the road, there's a special someone I can think of who would appreciate that Pikachu bundle. Although with Christmas just a couple months away, I can think of a person who would really appreciate that Pikachu bundle. They definitely failed to deliver what they needed to in order to pump up some hype for the game. I think this game is really being overshadowed by the new Smash Bros. Game, which will be coming out just a little over a month later. I mean, when it comes to Pokemon, I'm always going to hope it does well. That's got a special nostalgia attachment, but also outside of the graphics, I'm not expecting anything too special from this one. Mario Party looks great. I'm excited to get it. I'm excited to play it with some friends and maybe even my family if I can get them to sit down for a game night one day. The character choices really confuse me though. I mean, Bowser? He's always been the villain and moderator in any Mario Party game, so seeing him as playable is kind of weird to me. And then you have the likes of Pom Pom, Hammer Bro, Monty Mole. Have we fallen so far, Nintendo? You know who I've noticed who's been in most of the other Mario Parties and not in here? Toad and Toadette. Why? Game Freak came out and announced a new RPG called Town, working title. New RPG style being produced, and it's being done by Game Freak. It's a new RPG style being produced by Game Freak, so I know it's going to be interesting. Apparently the whole game takes place in a single town though, which kind of offsets me a little bit. It's a very unique idea when a lot of games are judged by the size of their map size these days. The jury's really just out on this one. I don't know what to make of it just yet. I need some more before I can really put a thought to this. Daemon X Machina. I am not gonna lie, right off the bat, I am so excited to get this game, to play it. It looks like so much fun, but let's be honest. It's Gundam with a fancy coat of paint and a different name. I mean, getting new weapons all the time will make for fun character types and builds. And being able to get out of your mech to explore the world on foot is unique, I think. I don't know, I'm really not into that much mecha stuff. Generally, in the common sense of it all, it feels like a terrible idea. I mean, if you're fighting around with like 20 giant robos, yeah, what's going to be the best idea? Oh, ho-hum, let me just get out of my giant robot that can defend me from missiles and swords and see what's going on around me. It just... I mean, I'm sure they've got some specialties going in with that mechanic, like you can only find certain weapons by crawling through certain pieces of rubble and stuff like that. But still, in the common sense of it all, it bypasses me completely. Yoshi's Crafted World, delayed till spring of 2019. I know originally it was supposed to come out by the end of the year, but you know what? I'm not complaining. It looks adorable and fun. You can tell it's been a real labor of love. And that's just like Yoshi himself. It looks good, has my curiosity, and when the time comes, I will be pre-ordering this. Civilization 6. Oh my gosh, this game is perfect for the Switch and mobile treatment. The Civilization series has always been a game that has always taken a lot of time, and if you didn't have the time to just sit down and play, then you wouldn't really be able to get to enjoy it, which is why I never got to enjoy it until I was much older personally. Like I said, mobile treatment is absolutely perfect for Civilization 6. Being able to take it over to play with your friends face to face is going to be a blast. I can already imagine about 3 or 4 of my friends who would like to get this game, and then we can just make a big party of it. I know everyone is really talking about this, but the Asmodee digital tabletop games, I just kind of found those underwhelming. I mean, it's a cool concept, but for most people, myself included, there's a real charm to just playing games that aren't on a TV screen. You know, just sitting around, being with your buddies, cardboard, dice, and plastic. There's a certain charm to it that I don't think a digital copy will be able to capture. Now, getting Munchkin and Gatan down the road will be awesome, so I may consider those. At the end of the day, I just don't see the appeal with this. Starlink, Battle for Atlas, good lord, yes! To say I'm excited feels like a bit of an understatement, which is ironic because I never got to play the Star Fox games as a kid. But I love the concepts. The characters are colorful and hilarious. They're freaking amazing. I want it. It looks good. It looks fun. And I cannot wait for it. You know, for a guy who's never really been into machine-based games like Daemon X Machina and Starlink Battle for Atlas, these two in particular have really got me going. But not nearly as much as the Final Fantasy releases. Oh my science. Crystal Chronicles 15 Pocket Edition, but still 7, X, and X2. Well, I mean slightly less on X2, but still, I loved these games and I cannot wait to get on them on my Switch and take them wherever I go. I'm also intrigued to play some of the ones I haven't gotten to yet, like Final Fantasy 9 and 12. Juggabo's Mystery Dungeon looks interesting. It's a cute little roguelike, so I don't know how I feel. I may get it, I may not. I'll wait and see. Finally, we had Animal Crossing, and this was just bloody brilliant the way they revealed. The moment Isabelle said, "I wish the villager wasn't smashing and camping," or whatever it was she said, I knew it was going to be a Smash reveal. Although I gotta say, it honestly threw me off getting Isabelle as a new, unique fighter. We all thought that she was going to be an Echo for Villager, yet here she is. Unfortunately, this means it's another notch on Verge Ben's belt. Yes, he did leak that Isabella would be a unique newcomer, not an Echo. It's actually really interesting looking at his streak right now because everything he's leaked has been in regards to newcomers. He's never leaked an Echo. Even in the case of Richter, where, you know, some people said that, hey, he knew Richter was coming. And he even said, yes, I was aware, but I didn't have 100% confirmation, so I didn't bother. And, you know, I respect that, but I also kind of hate it because this means his... But I also kind of hate it because this means that his saying that Decidueye won't be in Smash Brothers looking more likely to be accurate. I'm just going to start praying for the DLC line. But then, after revealing Isabelle as a unique newcomer to Super Smash Bros., they threw Tom Nook into the mix, and that just threw me personally into chaos. My instant first thought was that he was going to be an echo to Isabella, but nope. New Animal Crossing announced instead. 2019, it's coming. If in hindsight, had I taken a little time to think about it, you know, the Villager still has Tom Nook in his final Smash. Had that rational part of my brain thought about it, I would have known that this was going to be the announcement, but whatever. Other than the Mario Tennis Aces, getting Animal Crossing revealed was the only other prediction I think I made that I actually got right. Literally didn't get anything but this in tennis. Overall, as far as the Direct goes though, overall, I'm feeling whelmed. Not overwhelmed or underwhelmed, just whelmed. There were definite missed chances, like in the case of Metroid Prime 4, where we got announced at E3 over a year ago and we still haven't heard anything since. It would have been nice to see some other things as well. And of course there are those things like Mega Man 11 that would have been much more jaw-dropping if they hadn't been leaked prior to this. And granted, a lot of this is because Nintendo did delay the Direct. They had every reason, and very good reason, to do so. But still, a lot of those companies didn't want to wait until after the Direct, so they just threw it out there, and it kind of ruined the punch the Direct would have had otherwise. Like I said before, my only major complaint was the way they handled the online discussion. That, I mean, they literally brought nothing new to the table. Although knowing that Peach is a sniper and that Luigi's a jet squelcher main, I don't know. Let the memes go. So yeah, that is my thought on the Nintendo Direct, but what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm being a little whiny and too judgy, McJudgerson? Never used that before. Anyway, you can pay attention to my channel. I've got more content coming this week, including a special newcomer potential for Smash. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see y'all in the next video, but of course until then, stay blessed everyone.